Well, I'm back from Africa. I got back yesterday, and I'm headed home. I had a great time. It's a lot of things that I experienced there, so it's
In 1.5
really
miles, take
too
the
much
ramp
to say
on the left to US 1 South
in
toward
one
Raleigh,
video.
then keep left.
I'll just get lost. So anyway, the one thing I want to talk about today is the family unit. The family unit, I've seen a lot of young married people, older married people who've been married for years. The pride that the families take in having a family and having children. I'm not going to say everybody in Africa has this pride, but I will say the majority does. So just seeing the
In
young
1/2
married
mile,
couples,
take the ramp on the left
of course,
to
is
US
something
1
that you
South
don't
toward Raleigh,
see
then
all the
keep
time,
left.
as far as like how the wives and husbands take care of each other at a young age. Another thing with the family unit that I appreciated experiencing was the fact that the children, everybody in the family
In
works.
1/4 mile, keep left.
Everybody supports everybody. The grandmother, the mothers, the fathers, the grandfathers, the children. I've seen children running businesses. I'm not talking about like teenagers. I'm talking about, not just people or kids in their late teens. I'm talking about like 8, 9 year olds, younger, older children. They all had their own skill. Everybody had a skill that they used to make money. There was a lot of black-owned businesses. It was all black-owned, African-owned. Whether it be a hut or a shop, whether it be them walking the streets with their products on their head, the way that they balanced everything with no hands. I'm talking about coconuts, pineapples, beverages, like a whole 24 case of beverages with an ice block, and it's cold, or bags of water. They're carrying it on their heads with most of them without using their hands, and they're just walking around. If you're riding vehicles, they're there to sell it to you. It's like a mobile store. But as far as the family unit, everybody worked together. Everybody. I saw like a 1.5-year-old baby. The baby actually picked up a machete. And of course, like in America, we'd be like, oh my God, put it down, you'll hurt yourself. But the baby knew what the purpose of the machete was for. She picked it up and she was trying to chop at the fruits and vegetables. Or no, the plantain that was in the pot that her grandmother was preparing. But the responsibility that falls upon the family, the children are very responsible and trusted by their parents to do what they're supposed to do. We went to a bookstore, and it was 2 children running that bookstore. They had, it was the boy, he looked like he was about 9, and his sister was 15. And it was just them in a school supply store. They sold books and all the school supplies, things like that. They calculated everything. It was just them in the store. So just to see children working, being responsible to the extent that their parents allowed them to work by themselves, I was just taken back by it because, in America, we spoil our children. We pride ourselves on providing for our kids to where they don't have to work if we are able to do that. A lot of kids work and they also provide for their families in America, if it's needed. But I realize how much our children are spoiled in America. Like, I didn't see children walking around on their cell phones. I can't recall seeing a handful of children on cell phones. These children were working. I didn't see one playground, and this is just in the area that I was in, but I didn't see one playground. That's pretty much, what I have to say on the family, as far as the family aspect of it. The women, they put us to shame. on a certain level, we as American women, we have different opportunities. Truck driving, for instance. It was a man who was saying that women can't drive big trucks. Women are not allowed to drive big trucks there because I guess they don't have the experience, or men don't trust women to be able to do so. So I was able to show them some of my military pictures and showing them, what I did as an African American woman in America. But the women are so strong. And I'm talking about the older women. Of course, the young women, but the older women, the things that I saw them do, and oh my gosh, the things that I saw the women do there. They have their baby on their back with the wrap, and then they have whatever products that they have to sell on their head, working all day. I mean, when we walked at night, people were still working with their shop. If people didn't have a structure to put their items in, they just laid it out on the ground, whether it be tomatoes, plantains, meat, fish, anything that they're selling, they made a way to make it happen. So that's all I want to say right now. As far as just the family structure. Oh, another thing about the family structure is just the community. Everybody, the level of respect that everybody has for their elders. And it could be a child who's 10 who's given a child who's 12 the respect because they senior them. Also, if it's just somebody that is old enough to be your mom, they call each other mom, dad. Even though it's not their biological mom or father, or it's not even family, but because they're old enough to where they could be your mother or father, or you could be their son or daughter, that is how people address each other in Ghana. Uncle, auntie, brother, sister, like everybody. He's told me he had so many brothers. My fiance, he told me he had so many brothers and sisters. I'm like, okay, which one is your blood relatives? But that's the type of respect that they have for each other and community. If they see someone doing something wrong, they check them. They don't need the police. I rarely saw a police car when I was in Africa, in Ghana. I did see them on the main highways, checking vehicles and stuff like that. But outside of that, there wasn't a threat of police because the community addresses it. And because they have respect for their community and their families, to not go against the grain, break laws, or disgrace their families. So that's what I took back or observed when I was over there as it relates to family.